Channel 405.
Let's talk about personal finances. This is what you're going to be leading on in your tour here in South Africa. There are some things that people just will never learn. And I think in South African's context is actually saving. Very, very difficult to do. One, because our salaries haven't increased by much in the last 3 years. Secondly, because the culture of saving is not necessarily inculcated into our youth. So therefore, when we start working, we already have a deficit. We start at a minus. How can one start to think and realign themselves towards saving? Michael.
Well, it's all in the mindset first. First, we must change how we think, act, and feel about money. And to state what you mentioned, since the economy is kind of slow and it's hard to save, what we would suggest is first you take a look at your spenders, where you're spending your money. And you can trim the fat on things that you don't necessarily want and spend on your needs first. And then you can look at where the extra money is from there, and then you can start saving from there.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, Robbie, I come from a house where I've got 3 women who are my sisters that come after me,
Yes.
and then I've got a mother who cares as well. My dad was always relying on her with regards to making sure that there's food around the house. How do we empower young African women to start saving early?
Well, you have to determine what is your priority in life. What's important to you?
Yeah.
Where do you see your future? If you want to live in the now, which means you want to go out and now I'm going to buy me some shoes now, I'm going to buy me a dress now, as opposed to I need to save money for my children's college.
I
need
can
to
tell you
save
what
money.
they spend their most money on. They spend it on hair.
Well, as you see, I cut mine off.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I don't spend a lot of money on my hair, but I still look good as far as I'm concerned,
you do
right?
indeed.
So you can do things and still look beautiful and not go broke.
Yeah.
So you have to, it comes back to priority. What's most important to you? Because today you can enjoy and can hair the hair and have all that, but what are you going to have tomorrow? And that's what's important. You have to think about what are you going to have tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, we have a rather sad history in this country, so a lot of black African people don't feel that some of the financial products that are out there actually are something that they could look at to utilize to save. How would you change their line of thinking? Because they look at the markets and the finance industry as something that is way out of their league. So how do you do that, Michael? How do you start to shift that paradigm that you were mentioning earlier?
Well, in my book titled Financially Speaking, The Best Improvement Starts with Self-Improvement, it's up to the individual to take financial literacy education as part of their daily fabric to understand it better.
Yeah.
So I would first start with the mind shift of money and finances. And you should have an income statement and a balance sheet so you know what's coming in, you know what's going out, and it determines if it's positive cash flow or negative cash flow.
Yeah.
And if it's positive cash flow, then we can begin a savings plan. And then if it's not, then we would just start paying off our debt in order to get to that point.
That's true. Now, what if you don't have enough to save? What if you're living from hand to mouth? How do you start changing your patterns of lifestyle so that you can actually put away a little bit on the side?
Well, I think if you don't look at the market, don't worry about the market at this point in time. The focus is finding money to save.
Yeah.
So that starts with, as Michael said, looking at your expenses. What are you spending your money on today? Because if you can buy shoes or you can buy products for your hair, you can save because you can use that money to save instead of buying those things. So the question you ask yourself is what I'm buying important or necessary for my survival? If the answer to that question is no, then you don't need it. So the money that you save, the money that you take from that, you can put in your savings. So you have to start asking yourself questions. Is this important?
Yeah.
Is this going to benefit me and my family in the long run? And if you say no, then save that money or put that money toward a debt to help pay it down. Because you pay your debts down, you pay your expenses down, using the same money you have today, then you have money to save. There's no such thing as you don't have money to save. Because if you have money to spend, you have money to save. And you have to change that thought process.
Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. And I hope you enjoy the sunny stay in South Africa as well.
Thank you so much,
Tawabonga,
and you have a beautiful country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's all the time we have for you on Biz Pulse Special, and we really appreciate your comments. Please, you can tweet us at ANN7 TV, and for me, it's Clive R.A. Smith, and you can also send us emails as well at clive@ann7tv.com. That's all the time we have for your show, and we hope that we catch up soon. Take care, South Africa.